Well, welcome to another edition of the Digicel Sports Show right here on Islandstats.com. I'm your host, Earl Baston, and joining me yet again is the lucky man, Jason Juggling J. Ford. I was right 4 times on Saturday and Sunday, so was Juggler. Because remember, I picked first. 4 times.
He feels good saying it, so let him.
Hey, it is what it is. It's factual and actual. So we have a lot to talk about. Obviously, those football games. We have the FA Cup draw coming up, semi-final draw. Janai Parent-Chief broke the indoor high jumping record over the weekend. We had 4 people qualify for Carifta Games, and we had a record broken at harness pony racing. Another record. But we have all that and a little more after this message from our sponsor.
You may have heard Digicel is bringing the only true fiber to the home network to Bermuda. But what does that mean? Fiber to the home is the fastest and most reliable way to access the internet. And with Digicel's fiber internet, the fiber goes all the way into your house. It doesn't just stop at the street. That means you get consistently fast speeds you can rely on. Think of it as a brand new internet highway that goes all the way into your home or office, and you can be one of the first to enjoy it. Visit digicelbermuda.com/fiber to register your interest in Bermuda's only true fiber to the home network.
Well, Jay, as we predicted, some of these games would go into extra time. One was decided with kicks from the penalty mark, and that was the interesting one. Saturday night at BAA Field. I watched a bit of that, and I saw a different Paget team playing a little more under control, playing a little more disciplined, and playing with a purpose. They didn't let BAA settle. Obviously, BAA wanted to put the ball on the ground and play it around. But as much as Andrew Bascom was encouraging them to do so, it just wasn't working for them on the night.
Yeah, but you see what the inclusion of a few players that were missing the previous week.
Yes.
What that done for that team, even though they were without the service of Deion Stovall. But you can see what it does for them.
Yeah.
And then also scoring first.
Well, and believe it or not, I mean, if you saw the goal, it kind of came out of nothing. It was a free kick, ball came across, BAA failed to clear it. The guy headed it, but headed it straight down the middle. And there was Taj, and he hit his shot, and the ball literally bounced in front of the goalkeeper, but to his left, and it kind of bounced over him and into the. I was like, wow. But just minutes before that, Tyrell Burgess had a 30-yard free kick that I think if you go around BA right now, the crossbar still rattling. Still rattling because their goalkeeper,
Jason.
No, Jason wasn't in goal. Tariq, he was probably so glad he heard that ball hit that crossbar because he didn't want to put his fingers to none of that. But, BAA did manage to come back and score, send the game into the extra time, and then onto the kick from the penalty mark. And when you go to kicks, it's anyone's game. Who can say calm the longest? And of course, it was on that particular night, Patrick.
And it's one thing about penalty kicks, and it doesn't matter what talent you see from a player. You never know what the butterflies are inside that player. And some of the greatest players are the worst penalty takers.
I go back to 1982 World Cup in Mexico, Brazil, Italy. Roberto Baggio was considered the best player on the planet at the time.
Yeah, he was.
I think the person in row 50E was in trouble. That's how high he hit the ball over the bar.
Yeah.
So that statement you just made is so true. No matter how good someone is, you don't know what's rattling that person.
There's butterflies inside. Could be a little swarm of them inside.
And I mean that halfway line walk to the penalty spot is a walk of death.
Yeah.
I think, to be honest, I believe FIFA should shorten
I
it.
never used to remember being that long back then.
Well,
It used to be a distance,
Right.
but it never felt like it was halfway.
it was funny because when the USL Soccer League came out, when the Cosmos and those guys were playing, they used to stand on a 35-yard line,
Right,
which is just outside the box.
right.
FIFA must have seen that and said, okay, put them on the line. The line? Oh, right, that's a that's a long.
That's a wall.
You know how many things go through your mind and no matter how, I don't care how good you are.
Especially if somebody's missed.
Oh
You
boy,
have to score.
boy, you don't want to look at the goalkeeper.
See,
You don't.
there's times you want to go first.
Oh yeah. The trick for any penalty taking team is always go first.
Yeah.
Because the minute you score, you put pressure on the other team.
Yeah.
The minute you miss, you put pressure on the other team.
Yep.
Because they know if they want the leg up, they have to score.
Yeah.
So whatever you do, they must match it or be better.
Yeah.
And 9 times out of 10, teams going second struggle a lot. I know there's times when the team going second win.
Yeah. But
It's more pressure going second because you got to follow. You're always following.
But interesting enough, like you said, with the pageant. I mean, this is almost. It just feels like this fairy tale season is continuing.
Yeah.
Now they're on to the semifinals
Semi.
of the FA Cup.
Semi-final.
I mean, this is out of the. Where do you even start? Where did this come from?
I mean, and their neighbors and landlords are in the same boat.
You can almost see it, and I say that because with the coaching and what some pieces they did have to add up Rangers. Still a shock, though.
I was surprised.
It's still a shock.
But actually, no, we got one wrong because we said that North Village would be in by edging them out.
And this was the shock. That was the shock.
Yeah.
Actually beating North Village.
Yeah.
And, well, I felt they would play them hard
Right.
at home. I mentioned that with the sides. I thought they would play them hard at home. They'll feel comfortable.
Right.
They're, like I said, the fans have been coming back out to these matches. And I think, that day itself, it was going to be a great day.
Right.
And that's when you start to wonder, did North Village
Underestimate them?
or come up the same intensity?
Yeah.
The coach would probably say that more than underestimate them.
Right.
When you think? The coach would probably say we didn't match their intensity.
Right. I honestly believe, because Bermuda football is like this, some of those North Village players from that drive in town up to there saying, oh, we're just playing Rangers.
Yeah.
And once that sets in, it is very difficult to get out, especially if things don't go your way on the field. To be down 1-0, come back 1-0, go into extra time, and Rangers scored 2 goals in 3 minutes.
And to know that Paget had already gone through
Yeah.
from the night before.
Yeah. A little inspiration.
A little inspiration. I mean, you might not, probably playing no bearing on the game itself.
Right.
But just players believing. And sometimes, like I said, a lot of times in sports, it's 90% mental. If you can believe it,
Yeah.
if you get a team to believe in something, you're on the right track.
Yeah.
You're on the right track.
Yeah, definitely. Then down St. George's. St. George's was leading Robin Hood.
Oh, you was happy, weren't you, buddy?
Oh, I didn't know until it was 1-0, man. But, to be tied at 1-1 at halftime with second place in the Premier League, the defending champions of the Premier Division, Robin Hood. St. George's would have been into the locker room feeling good about their chances.
Very good about their chances. The only thing you question is how long could they sustain it?
Yeah. Fitness and speed of play would have come into effect.
Exactly.
The emotion of playing an FA Cup quarterfinal is one thing, but Wellington was a big field.
Yeah.
And I don't care how many times you play there at your home, if the team that you're playing against plays at a high pace all the time, you're going to have to match it. It becomes very difficult at times.
You just said it, even though that is your home field, if you're not, how do you practice for that?
Yeah.
And I keep telling this all the time, it's hard to practice for speed.
They would have probably wished they would have played at BAA.
Exactly.
Yeah. Smaller field. Once you get on top, you can consolidate and hold them, but playing at Wellington Oval spacious. Once you get Speedy Lejeune, skillful Antoine, Shakur, these type of guys playing.
And these guys know that to go on the ball. They're very good off the
ball.
Yeah. They love to run the channels. They do what we call a lot of the hard work. for strikers.
Yeah.
They don't mind doing the hard work or let me run this way to make room for the other guy, space for the other guy. The 3 guys that you mentioned, they would do that all game just because.
Yeah, yeah. We saved this one for last. Just like BAA, who thrashed Paget
the
week before, the last time Dennytown and PHC met at St. John's Field, Dennytown came out on top 3-0.
3-0.
But PHC were missing some significant parts of their team that they had back on Sunday, which made a significant difference in the style of play and them being a little more physical, a little more challenging in their tackles, in their play, in their moving. It just made PHC look like they were back on track.
It almost reminded the first game of they played around the first game of the year.
Right.
When PHC was very physical and very fast. That was what came out of that game.
Yeah.
And basically outclassed Dennytown in that game. Knowing that PHC had that in their head, so okay, we know we can compete like that around here.
Right.
Obviously being upset losing 3-0 the week before, but going back, it was no fear going back to Dennytown.
They were probably waiting for that.
Because
when they lost that day 3-0, they probably penciled in February 18th. We can get our season back on track. We can get into the semifinal of the FA and get this.
Even though that's FA, you just mentioned. Even though that's FA, I think that game mentally played a big part for PAC, and we talked about it because if PAC would have lost that game, because we'll keep saying, how do they rebound? How do they rebound? And going to these next 5 games in the league,
they rebound so much. We're looking up at them right now, man. Because
but now you start to wonder now what Dennytown, how they going to rebound and whatnot. So it's going to be interesting. I'm loving the season. How it's been. 1 minute you think one team is going to really run away or they're really on top, and we sat there with Cougars for a period of time, and then we ain't really talked about Cougars like that for a few weeks.
Right.
Dennytown started off bad, then they went on to the good winning streak. So once again, we hadn't mentioned too much about Marco Warner over the last couple of weeks.
No, he and Keyshawn Bingy, 2 quiet guys who are about the business. We speak a lot about Treming and Sequoia because they're scoring goals. But Marco Warren and Keyshawn have been engine rooms of
the little
PHC.
engine that could.
Yeah. They diminutive players get in, get stuck in, get out, do a whole pile of different things, and their minds are always working on the next thing that they need to do, and it's amazing to watch youngsters that are willing to work hard. You talked about Antoine and Lijon and Shakir. Well, that's what Marco Warren and Keyshawn Bean do for PHC. Constantly on the run, constantly going. And it was good to see Tristan Hall back. He adds a different dimension to PHC. A tall, wide player, got speed, got skill, got control. Yeah, look. I'm searching the gate. You can't come in. You can't come in. You can't come in.
I tell you, I did feel for Troy Hall, Jr.
But you know what? And I was going to mention that.
I did feel for Troy Hall, Jr.
A striker could miss 50 goals.
Of course.
The goalkeeper makes one mistake.
Of course.
And that's the talk of the town.
Of course. Yeah, of course.
And one of the things that a lot of coaches talk about Troy is that he's always ahead of what he's trying to do. Yeah. So you could clearly see he's trying to grab the ball to distribute the ball instead of catching the ball. Yeah. And the minute it drops out of his hand, there's Trey. Thank you.
You surprised me. Thank you.
Yeah. I'm surprised Trey didn't shake his head.
But just like you said, how coaches, the PAC players know this too.
Oh yeah, they would have been
being a former player.
Yeah, they would have been aware, and that's why every time the ball was going to him, somebody would go. Yeah, because he's always, like I said, he's always looking to do the next thing before he does the first thing, and it's a sign of a good player. But you have to be solid in that first. Yeah. You have to get those things done.
And like I said, it's just half a second of not being focused.
Mental lapse, yeah.
And could cost you. But in saying that, I mean, he's steady.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's steady. He saved some goals.
I mean, you look at it, the week before when they played North Village at Bernard Park, point blank save, the ball rebounds, and then you tell him go right down and score. You know, so he won't get no credit for that, but he'll get ridiculed for that dropping of the ball, and that's where I say.
But that's a goalkeeper. You gotta take it.
Yeah.
Gotta take it.
Gotta learn from it.
You may have heard Digicel is bringing the only true fiber to the home network to Bermuda. But what does that mean? Fiber to the home is the fastest and most reliable way to access the internet. And with Digicel's fiber internet, the fiber goes all the way into your house. It doesn't just stop at the street. That means you get consistently fast speeds you can rely on. Think of it as a brand new internet highway that goes all the way into your home or office, and you can be one of the first to enjoy it. Visit digicelbermuda.com/fiber to register your interest in Bermuda's only true fiber to the home network.
Well, the FA Challenge Cup semi-final draw was held earlier today, but before we get to that, Jay, wouldn't it be interesting if it was an old Premier and an old First Division matchup? That would mean
Rangers will play
Paget and PHC and Robin Hood. But that would mean that it would be the first time that a First Division team has been in the FA Challenge Cup final
since,
I believe, Warwick Workmen's Club. We've had teams take it down. We've had teams take trophies down.
What happened to Paris?
They were bottom of the First Division. I mean, bottom of the Premier Division. I'll look into it though.
The year they brought Corey, was up this thing. The year they brought Corey, and I think even Irvin
Burgess played. It was Hamilton Parish playing North Village. They lost 3-1. I'll have to look into it, but I think they were in the Premier Division then. Because those guys were playing.
They were playing in the Masters.
Right, but they were there. That was the first year that they had stopped playing, and I believe Parish were in the Premier Division.
Check on it.
Yeah, check on it.
But if not,
it'd be the first time in a very long time.
You're going back to the Warwick Bombardiers.
Yeah, but we'll check it out.
We'll
check it out. Well, let's get the FA Challenge.
I'm sure everyone's excited about what's about to happen. FA Cup semi-final draw. We were here, I guess, less than a month ago, and we talked about 4 First Division teams progressing to the quarterfinal stage, which made up half of the pool at that stage. And now here we are again, two First Division teams making up the pool of 4 for the semi-final draw. That I think the last time that happened, it may have happened since, but I recall one time that happened where Devonshire Colts actually were drawn against St. George's for the semi-final, which guaranteed a First Division team progressing into the final. Devonshire Colts actually defeated St. George's and went on to win the FA Cup, the first and only team to do so. So obviously the intrigue is there, but a little bit of suspense because we have 3 draws to make today. We have the Expansion League knockout, the Masters knockout, and then we'll finish up with the FA Cup semi-final draw. So in the Expansion League knockout, we have PHC, Devonshire Rack, Western Stars, Stanley Tower, Southampton Bridge, Southampton Rangers, Crossroads, Somerset Cricket Club, Devonshire Colts, and Hamilton Parish. So that's 9 teams, so we will have a preliminary round. So the first 2 teams out will face each other in a preliminary round, and then we will do the full draw. Ready? Hamilton Parish, Devonshire Colts, Crossroads, Southampton Rangers, Somerset. Somerset Bridge. Dendy Town. Devonshire. PHC. Yeah. So Dendy Town. Will face Hamilton Parish in the preliminary match. Somerset Bridge. Play Somerset Cricket Club. Southampton Rangers. Play Devonshire Rack. Devonshire Colts. Play PHC. Dendy Town, the runner of Dendy Town and Hamilton Parish will play Crossroads. On to the Masters knockout. Remaining teams are Hamilton Parish, North Village Rams, Prospect, Somerset Extras, Young Men's Social Club, St. George's Stallions, St. George's All Stars, and PHC Raiders. St. George's Stallions, PHC Raiders, St. George's All Stars, Somerset Extras, Prospect, Young Men's Social Club, Hamilton Parish, North Village Rams. Hamilton Parish, play Prospect. St. George's All Stars, play PHC Raiders. St. George's Stallions, play Somerset Extras. Young Men's Social Club will play North Village Rams. St. George's and Somerset, for the fourth year in a row they'll be matched up against each other. Cup match again. For the much anticipated FA Cup semi-final draw, PHC, Robin Hood, Paget, and Southampton Rangers. Southampton Rangers, Robin Hood, PHC, Paget. So 2 teams fighting for promotion, the league leaders, and the defending league champions. Doesn't get much better than that, eh? Southampton Rangers. Patrick. Robin Hood. PHC. Next time I'll get someone else to do this draw so I don't get blamed. But there we have it.
You got a venue for it yet?
We have, give me a second, Lawrence. Which one's first? Okay, the expansion league. Okay, so the summary of the three draws. Expansion league. Dennytown and Hamilton Parish will play in the preliminary round, which is scheduled for, it's not on the schedule.
March 13th.
There it is, Tuesday, March 13th, which will change. I believe the FA Cup semi-final was changed to that date. But in the quarterfinal proper, will be the winner of Dennytown, Hamilton Parish versus Somerset Bridge versus Crossroads. Then we have Somerset Bridge versus Somerset Cricket Club, Southampton Rangers versus Devonshire Rack, and Devonshire Colts versus PHC. We will verify that date and the venues. For the Masters Cup quarterfinals, which will be held on Wednesday, March 21st, we have Hamilton Parish versus Prospect, St. George's All-Stars versus PHC Raiders, St. George's Stallions versus Somerset Extras, and Young Men Social Club versus North Village. And then the big matches to be held on Tuesday, March 13th. Venue is actually still to be determined. We shall determine that within the next 48 hours. We have Southampton Rangers facing off against Paget at 7 p.m. and then Robin Hood versus PHC at 9 p.m. Those matches on Tuesday, March 13th.
You may have heard Digicel is bringing the only true fiber to the home network to Bermuda. But what does that mean? Fiber to the home is the fastest and most reliable way to access the internet. And with Digicel's fiber internet, the fiber goes all the way into your house. It doesn't just stop at the street. That means you'll get consistently fast speeds you can rely on. Think of it as a brand new internet highway that goes all the way into your home or office, and you can be one of the first to enjoy it. Visit digicelbermuda.com/fiber to register your interest in Bermuda's only true fiber to the home network.
Jay, this weekend was a huge weekend for the sport of track and field. Obviously, we all know Janai, parent chief, is over in Arkansas. He took part in an indoor track meet, his second meet indoor for Arkansas, and he smashed the Bermuda indoor record.
Oh, no pun intended, but glad he rebounded. Rebounded from his coming back off that injury. And, you know, we've been waiting for just to get healthy.
Yeah.
And they've took time out. They've done a lot of stuff in the off season to get him ready. And hey, I'm pretty sure the coach and even Janai is probably ecstatic where he is already. And we're early in the season.
And indoor. So could you imagine what he can do outdoor? Clarence, Nicky Saunders, look out. That's all I'm going to say.
I could see that record probably dropping within the next 6 months.
It'll be close.
It'll be close.
If he can stay healthy. Now, he's also doing triple jump because he's doing that as well. But he's doing triple jump. It's funny because when you talk to him, he's doing triple jump as a way to stay in shape and a way to get his spring going and so forth. But when you're leaping 16 meters, mate, I'm saying, well, No, just leap 10, 11, 60. You're trying to win everything.
Yeah. But that's the competitor.
Yeah. Boy, oh boy. Well, let's get the report of Janai Parent-Chief doing high jump, breaking the Bermuda indoor record, and triple jump. Iowa Central transfer Janai Parent-Chief represented Arkansas at the Arkansas qualifier track meet, clearing an indoor personal best of 2.22 meters in high jump to win the event. Parent-Chief's leap broke his own Bermuda indoor record of 2.17 meters. It also moved him up to number 9th ranked on the NCAA leaderboards and tied him for 8th on the Arkansas all-time best list. Parent-Chief would go back to work a couple of hours later in the triple jump, marking an indoor personal best of 16 meters to debut on the NCAA triple jump list at number 13. Well, Jay, staying with the sport of track and field, 4 Carifta standards met. 3 in Bermuda, 1 in Barbados. The 3 in Bermuda, Nairobi Smith Mills, 800 meters.
What doesn't he do?
Well, it's getting near time that he needs to decide what he's going to do. He literally.
He's in the national squad
for cricket. He's now qualified for Carifta. Hey, you've got to realize the toll it takes on your body, because he likes the fast ball.
Yes.
So your body's going through, and
it's growing. It's still growing.
Yeah. It's almost time to make a decision.
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
But for the safety reasons we're talking about, not
because if he gets a back injury from bowling,
it would hamper everything.
Yeah. But that's up to him and his family and decide what he wants to do. But an exceptional, talented young man.
But I'll let you continue with the story itself.
Who basically jugged his way to Carifta Games.
Yeah. In what?
800
meters.
What
was his final time?
I can't remember. But it was well below what they needed. So, we look forward to him.
And it's going to be interesting going forward, just in the educational side of it.
Right.
Because, once you do put these accomplishments on a piece of paper, and schools are looking at you.
Yeah. They come a knocking.
The Carifta, to have a Carifta on your paper, or you playing for a national team, schools love. We talked about it all the time. Schools love to hear that.
It's all part of their portfolio for them as well as you. But it's part of them that they have a Carifta athlete or Carifta medalist or this, and they look forward to that.
They love to boast that same information.
Yeah. Then we had 2 young ladies qualify in the 1500 in Tilda Norman and Jessie Marshall. The qualifying time was 5:05, and Tilda done it in, I think, 4:58, and Jessie done it in 5:02. So well below the time required, and they're part of the outfit going to Bahamas. Over the Easter break.
Easter.
So, and then over in Barbados, international track meet, Cleavante Lodge. I believe it's Bean Lodge, but Cleavante in the 400, he's been knocking on the door in Bermuda.
We've been hoping that he was going to get to the...
Well, the fitness is way up there, because he ran a 50.4 in the preliminaries, came back and ran a 49.6 in the final to win it and meet the qualifying standard of Carifta, and to run 2 heats like that within an hour and a bit of each other. It's an amazing performance. Because we could say we could run for 90 minutes, but if you're flat out 400 in a matter of an hour, that's a tall order. But he's now put himself down to go to Bahamas as well. So, we want to say congratulations to all those.
I'm going to just, once again, congratulations to all the athletes. Just looking at this scenario, and sometimes we do know that it helps. Going to a meet with higher competition.
Yeah, or competition you don't know.
To help motivate you.
Sometimes you have to get away from the environment you're in to perform at your best. And that's what he done.
And that's what I was saying, because
Yeah.
but support.
Yeah.
And they got the support.
Definitely.
So
Definitely. Well, from one speedster to another, the National Equestrian Center on Vision Street has been the home of some fast times. We've had every record, with the exception of the track record, the overall track record, broken this year. The 2-year-old record's been broken now twice.
That's common.
The age race records, every record with the exception of the track record, has been broken.
That's coming.
Yeah.
And we probably attribute that to the
New laying of the track.
bank.
Yeah. That I got a chance to speak to Kaiwan Waldron and Charles Whited. Golden Glory is the 2-year-old who set the record on February 4th. Well, broke the first record on February 4th, and then came back on Sunday and totally obliterated that record. And of course, Kaiwan Waldron was in the bike, and Charles, who's also the president of the club, owns Golden Glory. Got a chance to speak with both of them to talk about the track and the speed of the horses, safety of the horses, and much more. So let's get the interview with Kaiwan Waldron and Charles Whited. Well, all I'm going to say is the name Golden Glory. You two combined together have this horse running some amazing times. I want to ask you first, as someone who has helped to redesign the track, could this new track be assisting with it being a little more equipped for these particular fast times?
Absolutely. I mean, the track has made a significant difference. Really has. The animals are a lot happier, healthier, all sorts of benefits. I want to say, other than the overall track record, every single track record has been broken this year. So that speaks volumes on just how far we've come from last season to this season. Injuries, we've practically reduced. I mean, we still get, like any athlete, you still get a little injury here and there. But again, significantly reduced all sorts of injuries, shoeing issues and stuff. We seem to be onto something here.
Kaiwan, you are in the bike of Golden Glory. You've seen that horse over this year become faster and faster. How scary is it being behind an animal that's going as fast as it is, as young as it is?
It's definitely eye-opening for a 2-year-old to be going that fast, and he's never seen something like that before. Hopefully that record stands for quite a while. I would say so. But it's amazing the power and the speed that he has, and just pulls and pulls and keeps going. Just loves to run.
Now, when do you sense that he wants to run faster? When you're warming up or when you're getting ready for the racing?
I would say in the warm-up, I could see if he wants to go. He's ready, he's on the bit, he's hot. But in the race, as it goes along and we start actually rolling, he tells me it's time to go.
Now you're watching this unfold on the sideline. So what advice are you giving Kaiwan as he gets in the seat to make sure that, hey, if he's ready to go, let him go, or hold him back, because it's a long season?
Absolutely. Management is the key, especially when you're dealing with a 2-year-old. Kai makes the driving part very easy for me. I have to tell him very little. He's the only person, he's raced him since he started racing in October right up until now. So, I mean, Kai knows the pony better than anybody. I train him every day, and Kai does what he has to do. He makes it easy for me. How's that?
A 2-year-old, what's the secret in getting him to go as fast as you've got this one going?
I don't think there is a secret or a formula. It's just, every now and then you get a fluke, and he's something special. And I'm grateful. Kai's grateful that I earn him and Kai races him. He's a very good horse.
It was 2 weeks ago that you broke the record. Prior to this one, did you think he would get faster that short period of time?
I mean, you never really know, but I guess he definitely had some more in the tank. But to shatter it like that is amazing. I've never been that fast. Never thought about going that fast. It was pretty awesome.
Another 2 weeks off maybe and come back and shatter that one?
That would be great if it could happen.
How are you managing to hang on? Because obviously when a horse is going that fast, you're trying to control steer and all that. How do you manage to hang on?
I just found myself in the seat, place my feet good, and really just let him do the work. Coach him around and see what happens, and we got the result.
When you're putting in the time training with the horse, do you sense that, hey, this could be the one that could, and you're looking at a few years' time that could possibly be threatening the overall track record?
Yeah, I mean, he's knocking on the door. I mean, if you would have said a year ago, if you'd have said 6 weeks ago, last week, that a 2-year-old would go in 102 and change, I think everybody would have just looked at you and smiled and walked away. But he's been training a ton. He's a strong horse, and yeah, he's doing everything right. And I told Kai yesterday, I said, this colt is really, I think the week off last week has freshened him up. He's just a baby. I said, see what he warms up like. And Kai came in and said, we got a lot of horse today. I said, well, let's see what he does second heat. You got the rail. Let him stretch out again. And he says, okay. I said, he's had a week off. He'll be all right. Well, we didn't think he'd stretch that far, but anyway, we'll take it.
They always say you always want to save the best for last. The last race of the day, something special?
It was very special. I would say definitely goes down in the books. To actually have so many records competitively over this year. It's been an awesome year. I might never get another year like this, so take it as it comes.
You guys take the bragging rights for a little while now. Do you see anyone right behind, possibly?
As far as 2-year-olds, I mean, Lee and Sergio have an amazing 2-year-old colt, which happens to be our colt's brother, half brother. So that makes it even more special. He sent his mare and my mare together. We sent them down, bred them, and came back, and they were born within a couple days of each other. So, it's amazing. It's special to have accomplished what we have so far. But when it's a homegrown, we own the brood mare and Lee owns his brood mare, and to produce 2 amazingly good 2-year-old colts like that is speaks volumes.
So the challenge is on. Someone's on your heels. Can you handle it?
I can. I'll take whatever comes to me.
All right. Well, congratulations, guys. We look forward to faster times maybe in a few weeks' time.
Definitely. Thank you.
Great. Thank you very much.
You may have heard Digicel is bringing the only true fiber to the home network to Bermuda. But what does that mean? Fiber to the home is the fastest and most reliable way to access the internet. And with Digicel's fiber internet, the fiber goes all the way into your house. It doesn't just stop at the street. That means you get consistently fast speeds you can rely on. Think of it as a brand new internet highway that goes all the way into your home or office, and you can be one of the first to enjoy it. Visit digicelbermuda.com/fiber to register your interest in Bermuda's only true fiber to the home network.
Well, Jay, interesting draw. I gotta let you let that sink in, brother. I gotta let you let that sink in. But Thursday, look out. Come with every scenario.
I should be looking at the finals.
But you are?
But this could be a juicy final.
Any way you look at it.
Any way you look at it. The storylines are there. To finish off, you gotta think. Maybe a league champion involved.
In both divisions. Could be. But you have to wait till Thursday to hear his breakdown.
Yeah, it'd be interesting.
Yeah. So from the Digicel Sports Show, have a good night.